Hey 310, I feel like when we left last night it was a little bit confusing, so I wanted to make you a quick video and show you things that might be helpful to you. And also then that way you can use this video as a reference if you need it. So first of all, you're going to go to your lesson plan template that Christine was kind enough to send us the editable version of, and you can go into download. And once you download that, you should be able to, you all, the technology. I think perhaps because I just downloaded it. Yep. So here you'll see the lesson plan and it's in the nice formatted template. The date, the subject, the grade level, and the time needed. So I would just put in whatever date you're working on it, and you can always change that to the date that it's due if you'd like. I'm not going to be super particular about that. So I'm just going to do May 19th, that's today's date. And I'm going to go to subject, and I'm going to type in reading, and then grade level. I'm going to make this a third grade lesson, just because I feel like it's kind of in the middle. And then time needed, I'm going to put 60 minutes. Now, if you notice, if you put it in like that, it goes to a second line. You want to be careful that you don't do that. So you kind of have to adjust it so that all of your date, your subject, your grade level, and your time needed is all in one. Now, we talked about the central focus, the prior student knowledge, and the Illinois learning standards addressed. I want to start with the learning standards addressed actually. And you need one content standard. So I'm going to put content in parentheses just so you see that. You need a social, emotional standard, and you need an ELA standard, so English Language Arts. So I'm just going to put that in parentheses. I'm going to take them out, but just so you know what it is. So for the content standard, I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to go to English. So to get to here, you just go to Common Core Standards. So Common Core Standards, you just type that in a general search engine. You click on where it says corestandards.org, and then you can click on where it says read the standards. Now, you can go to English Language Arts Standards, ELA standards, and then you're going to go kindergarten to grade 12. So this is a literature book. You can look through the anchor standards if you'd like, or the informational if your book warrants that. I'm doing a picture book, so I'm going to stay in the literature area. So because I'm doing a third grade lesson, I'm going to go to grade 3 standards. Now here you'll see all these standards in the strand. And while you might have ask and answer questions to demonstrate understanding of a text, referring explicitly to the text as the basis for the answers, you might ask them questions as you go, your students. So you might be, as you're talking, you might say, oh, well, how do you think that, what do you think is going to happen next? You might do predicting, but you want to put standards in your top 3 standards that you're planning on assessing. So if you're going to do an assessment on it, what would be what your main thing is? You sure don't want to put like every single one of these standards and say that you're going to assess that in this lesson. So the one I'm going to pick, or what I'm going to choose is I'm sorry. Is this one here. Explain how specific aspects of a text's illustration contribute to what is conveyed by the words in the story. So how does this character feel? So I'm going to just copy this, and I'm going to throw it right into my lesson plan. And that's going to be my content standard. Okay, and of course you'll go back and reformat so that it's all a standardized font, but just to get it there. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete where it says content, because I don't want that in there, and it's not there. You don't put anything in there. I just wanted to show you that you needed those 3 things. The same thing for the English language arts, because this is an English language arts lesson, you just need another ELA standard. And so I am going to do the writing standard. And so I'm going to put what they're going to do. So that's going to be establish a situation and introduce characters, organize an event sequence that unfolds naturally. So I'm going to talk about that. And that's going to be my ELA standard. Okay. So that one served as my ELA standard. And now for social emotional standard, you can just go to isb.net, or you can Google ISB and then SEL standards. So those are the social and emotional learning standards. And if you click on them, you'll see a list of all the standards. And they're not necessarily organized by grade band per se. It's just early elementary, late elementary, and middle high school and late high school. So these are kind of just bands. And so this speaks more to their relationships and their social emotional learning. So I'm going to look through these and I'm going to choose this here. So recognize the feelings and perspectives of others. So I'm going to put this as a late elementary. I think that there's some flexibility in this for 3rd grade specifically. I think when I think early elementary, I think K to 2 or pre-K to 2. For late elementary, I think 3 through 5, and then 6 through 8 is middle school. But that's not set in stone. That's just what I would do. I think you could too judge that based on your demographic or where you are. If you have a lot of struggling below level readers, you would probably lean towards early elementary. Whereas if you have a mostly proficient class, you would go towards late elementary. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to say, describe the expressed feelings and perspective of others. In this case, it's going to be the people in the book. That's not letting me copy. So I'm just going to copy 2A.2b. Let's see. And then I think it was describe the expressed feelings. Okay, so now you have all 3 of your standards that you need. Now, for prior student knowledge,